Clap it up, clap it up. Welcome back to another episode of Say What Needs to Be Said. I'm your host, your big dog, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel, two-time Super Bowl champion, your Pro Bowler, all-pro record-breaking cornerback. Yeah, and the last cornerback to intercept 50 interceptions during the 16-game season era. Not too many people have done that and achieved that. Shout out to Philly in the building, man. Philly, New England, all my Atlanta Falcon people, man. Everybody who support the kid, man, who like that real stuff, man. And like when you give it to them genuine, man. We have a lot to cover, man. A lot has been going on. Training camp is underway, man. Some teams are starting to kick off, man. You know what? Week 1 is going to be fantastic. It's going to be exciting. Man, I can't wait, man. Football season is right around the corner, man. And we got a lot to discuss, man. Hey, man. One thing I learned, man, in this media space, you know, when you are blunt, and you don't really care, or you're not too concerned of what people think and how they feel about you. Like myself, you stand alone and people can't, really handle you or know how to deal with you. You understand? And like for guys like Ryan Clark, for us to have the back and forth and for me to feel disrespected the way I did when he, didn't treat me appropriately when me and Dion was going through the whole debacle, he basically, in my eyes, showed me nothing but disrespect, right? So, hey, when you have me, this bad energy all over your head, all in your vicinity talking shit, man, hey, bad things happen. Bad things happen, man. Hey, that's all I can say. So if you have a chance to make it up and have a chat with the man himself, Mr. Asante, I suggest you do it. Like the other people, man. So, yeah, we got Ryan Clark, man. Ryan Clark. Oh, man. What is going on? The pressure of not being liked. The pressure of not being liked anymore pushed Ryan Clark to humiliate himself. Gosh, this was an ugly situation going on. What happened to the production team? Why didn't no one stop this mess from happening? I hope this was not orchestrated and this was not a planned ordeal to garner views and him humiliate himself in front of millions of people, because this was some nasty work right here by Ryan Clark. I can't lie to you. He got fired, bro. He got fired. Some nasty work. ESPN Ryan. Y'all know that's my nickname for him. I had to think of something else. Until we think of something else, it's still ESPN Ryan. He had an awesome run at ESPN as one of the top on-air personalities for the media company. I can't lie. I will give him his credit, and I love to give credit when it's due and it's deserved. And he was pretty talented in what he did, right? But I don't know what's next for Ryan Clark. From his response on the pivot, it sounds like he understands he is about to be blackballed up out of this industry that he is growing to love. Because he don't know how to follow the rules. You have to follow the rules. ESPN hired you to come do a job exactly how they wanted you to do it, and you thought you could stray away and do things how Ryan Clark thought they could be done. You want to feel accepted. You want your people. Don't make me start, man. But one thing to learn here. Don't be fooled to thinking your employer has such a great relationship with you that they won't fire your ass on the spot. Why did Ryan Clark think ESPN loved him so much that he would be around forever? He can't do no wrong. And that's where he got wrong. That's where he went wrong at. The entitlement. Homeboy wasn't only a crash dummy on the football field, because he ain't making no plays on the football field. He was a crash dummy. He's a hard-hitting motherfucker. I can't lie. He hit hard. But he's also a crash dummy in real life. Because that's what he did. He crashed out, guys. That was a total crash out debacle by Ryan Clark. He couldn't wait to get on his podcast and cry in front of his viewers because he was simply fired. People get fired every day with less opportunities than Ryan Clark. Why not cry at home? Why not cry at home in private with your loved ones? Why is it necessary to jump on a podcast and platform and cry in front of everyone? What kind of man shit is that? There were 9 people fired, but ESPN Ryan is the only one trying to turn this termination into a soap opera. And we have to check ESPN Ryan out. Let's check him out.
I go home, and this
It's starting off up bad already. Look, I want y'all to watch his body language. You know when your kid's crying, you're yelling at your kids, they don't know what to do, they can't control their emotions, and they're going back and forth and grabbing their fingers and things like that. Watch this man. Watch this man. I know everybody's seen this, but we're reacting to this. Watch this. This is unacceptable.
and this kid, you know, from the West Bank.
Look, what is he doing? What's wrong with his posture? The emotions get to him that bad? What his diarrhea is starting to flow through the stomach? You know? What the heck is going on? What is this? What the freak is that?
It's like so accepted in New Orleans now. Like I wouldn't change that. You know, like never. You know, like all I ever wanted to do was be accepted. You know, and want it. So yeah, like that, I wouldn't change. You know, if you ask me, probably the first like Monday.
We're not finna watch this whole thing, right? I'm sure y'all seen this already plenty of times before. But there's one major issue I have with this video, besides him crying and being so emotional. Who does this ninja feel he needs to be accepted by? Ryan Clark. Who does this ninja feels he needs to be accepted by? And it better not be what I'm thinking or who I'm thinking. And we need to know. We need to know who. Ryan Clark, we need to know who, what, when, where, how, why you want to be accepted. We need to know, Ryan Clark. This is some serious shit. Who do you want to feel accepted by? Who, what, when, where, and whatever else. What we need an explanation. You need to explain this to the community. What the hell you meant by that? And for me, oh man, the dog that I am, the person that loves to be genuine and keep it 100. You know, I don't want anyone to control me. I want to stay independent and have my voice the way I like it, right? But I let a ninja who wants to feel accepted speak on my name and show me disrespect. Imagine that. Woo! Man, that's a tough pill to swallow for you, boy, Mr. Pick Six. I can't lie to you, man. That's a tough one to swallow. It's a tough one. Ryan Clark wants everyone to feel sorry for him. That's, at the end of the day, that's what it is. He turned this whole thing into a soap opera. But what made him think crying on his platform and to tell the world he wants to feel accepted was some player shit to do? This might be the biggest L of Ryan Clark's media career. What a freaking mess. Him crying because he got fired is worse than any take he has ever spewed on ESPN, Get Up, First Take, or whatever. Why not tell the world you're excited for what's next? Why not tell the world, I appreciated this opportunity. I've grown so much working for this company. They showed me a lot. I learned a lot. Why not hold your head up, stick your chest out, and talk like that? No matter if you're feeling down and out, feeling vulnerable, yeah, you got time to go home and feel vulnerable and and create that safe space, you know? I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear that men need a safe space to feel vulnerable. Shit. A man's safe place is at home with your loved ones. Man, we cry every day. We cry all the time. I ain't gonna say every day. I been crying since 2013. I cry every goddamn week. I cry. Anytime, most of the time when I'm alone by myself, start thinking about moms and all the things I've been going, man, I cry, goddamn it. Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with crying. But it's when and where and how you do it, right? See, to get up on a platform and cry, you have to set that stage. Be ready to act when it's lights, camera, and action. It's not genuine. ESPN Ryan let ESPN win this chess match. He was supposed to show ESPN they can't stop him, or they didn't have any effect on his life after his termination. Exactly what Shannon Sharp did. Shannon Sharp did exactly what we're supposed to do when someone feels like our services are no longer needed. He didn't cry. He didn't walk around with his head down, pouting, looking for sympathy. Shannon Sharp created other avenues to continue his success. Damn near competing with ESPN. Cam Newton isn't crying. Cam Newton expressed his appreciation for the experience. But Ryan Clark feels the most entitled out of everyone. Out of everybody five, Ryan Clark wants everyone to feel sorry for him. Entitlement got the best of that man. Entitlement is a very dangerous feeling to be carrying around. I dealt with people with entitlement around me for years upon years. And let me tell you, it's some dangerous shit. Right? The way things went down, right? And from what ESPN Ryan is explaining, they will blackball him from the industry. You will end up seeing, if we end up seeing Ryan Clark with the mega hat on or something like that, just know they got him. If Ryan Clark ends up walking around with a MAGA hat on, they got the best of him, and he wants to feel accepted, and he wants his job. I'm not the one to kick a man down when he came across some hardships and things like that. I will have some fun. I love to have fun, and I'm going to talk shit. And he spoke on my name, and I felt disrespected. Of course, Ryan Clark is pretty talented at what he does as a media pundit. But he has some outlandish takes, like most of us do, like we all do. No one agrees with everyone's take. But the absolute worst one for me, when he tried to compare Tom Brady to other quarterbacks, simply in itself was a bad idea. But then he tried to say Tom Brady isn't a generation talent. Then proceed to say Drew Brees, Peyton Manning also aren't generational talents. But Patrick Mahomes is. Man. Whoa, that was a tough one. That was a tough pill to swallow on that day, man. That was a tough one to swallow. That was a tough one for sure, right? Now, we're talking about ESPN, right, and how they handled this situation. We expect billion-dollar companies to be professional and always handle situations to the most up professionalism, right? That's our expectations. But that's not necessarily true, and they don't have to do things the way we perceive it to be done, right? See, I see a lot of people don't agree with ESPN's decision to tell Ryan Clark about his termination on air as the right thing to do. But here's the thing. You ever thought ESPN decided they should hand down a little disrespect to Ryan Clark the same way he gives that disrespect to people? Think about it. If they decided to tell him that on air, that was purposely done. They purposely wanted to humiliate Ryan Clark and strike his ego. They didn't give the poor guy a chance to finish his segment. I know that really hurt that man. He was talking about LeBron too. That's crazy, you know. But for ESPN Ryan to handle the situation the way he did was a bad idea, man. I know he's having a lot of regrets and thinking about how he could have did a better job of handling this situation. But I know and I understand and I can see Ryan Clark was making a lot of people feel uncomfortable behind the scenes. He was hired to do a job the way they wanted him to do it. And he didn't want to do it the way they wanted him to do it. Ryan Clark, with the entitlement he possessed, he thought he could speak on topics that his employer didn't agree with. Stop thinking you're bigger than the program, man. If Ryan Clark didn't think he was bigger than the program, he would still have his job. They were having plans of taking Ryan Clark to the Super Bowl, and he was going to have his first live coverage at the Super Bowl. But he didn't want to follow the unwritten rules and instructions. Now, on the other hand, ESPN claims they made the decision to inform Ryan Clark of his termination after the story. Stories began to leak about the two parting ways, right? About ESPN and Ryan Clark parting ways. Cam Newton and Ryan Clark. That's the word on the streets, right? But I must say something serious had to happen for Ryan Clark in between the time him talking about Tom Brady, him belittling Peter Schrager, and talking about Bosa, supporting MAGA and things like that. Something had to happen for ESPN to let that amount of time to go by and to execute this firing at this moment, right? At this time, right? And I can see, man, he can blame and cry and pout about the things of why he think they fired him. But Ryan Clark's aggressive nature around people who didn't play football tells me he was intimidating to those people at ESPN. The bigger and more physically fit we are, it scares certain people. That's just the way it is. Ryan Clark thought he was in control of this ship now. ESPN said, no way but D. Sorry, but D. But like I say, shout out to Ryan Clark, man. He's a very talented guy. This is just me, man, doing my shit talking, right? I don't never want to see a man's livelihood be taken away from him. I never want to see a man the way they feed their family be taken away from him and things like that. So, no one is crying. No one is celebrating the downfall of Ryan Clark. On my end, a lot of people are happy. I see everybody celebrating and things like that. I wasn't even going to speak on the situation. I was going to keep my mouth quiet. I was doing good for a whole week. I was doing great. I had to sit down with my son. We chopped it up, got things off our chest. And, I was able to peel back a few layers and get an understanding. I was feeling great. Then Ryan Clark went up there and started crying. Lord have mercy. Lord. So yeah, man, that's what it is, man. Ryan Clark, we'll see what's next for Ryan Clark. I think he's going to be backballed. We'll see, Now, coming up next, man, we got Emmanuel, Acho, and the Speakeasy crew, and the Speakeasy company, I guess we'll say, podcast, right? And let me address Emmanuel Acho, right? And his inheritance. Because I see he's uptight and in his feelings every time I have something to say. And like you said, I just like to talk shit. If you don't like to talk shit, don't engage. Because this is fun and exciting to me. You know what I mean? But the problem I have with Emmanuel Acho is he tried to sneak his way on the scene. He tried to basically sneak his way on the scene off another man's success and show a lack of respect. To me, that's clown behavior. To me, Acho should have paid homage to the people who gave him a voice instead of talking shit to them. And once you pay homage, now you can do whatever you want. You can talk shit, you can compete, compare numbers, so on and so forth. But Emmanuel also tried to sneak on the scene and do things backwards. And that's the problem we have with him.
Something once and for all. I did not buy the Speakeasy channel. I did not have to buy.
Why do you keep explaining this to us, sir? We understand you didn't buy the Speakeasy channel, whatever. We can see right through you, brother. You keep explaining to us. Keep it coming, goddammit.
The Speakeasy channel. Once I left Fox as part of my settlement, it was y'all go ahead and run me this channel because it's going to lie dormant, just like the current Speak for Yourself channel is sitting dormant on YouTube. If y'all not brilliant enough to use it, Fox, I will. Now, y'all at home, you don't build a car.
I will.
You buy a car that's already been built, because why would you build a car if you could buy a car? Furthermore, I will not apologize for acquiring a channel, which, by the way, I ain't even have to buy. I'm not going to apologize for acquiring a channel that has since allowed me to gainfully employ.
No one is asking you to apologize, Emmanuel Acho. Who the heck wants you to apologize? And furthermore, so you understand, we're happy for your success. We love that you can employ people. Stop taking things the wrong way, Mr. Sensitive.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 individuals off camera, of which are my close friends. So shout out to the least Fox could do in giving me a channel that's now allowed me to put money in the pockets of 7 to 9 of my closest friends, and by the grace of God, employ people more money than some have been paid before for working on a daily show. Ever. So let me clarify that 1, I didn't buy the channel. I was given the channel. 2, shout out to what Skip and Shannon did in helping create this channel, because yeah, I'm finna inherit what y'all did. Now, with that being said,
that's where we have a problem at. That's where we have a problem at. You really thought no one would notice where you got this account from. No one would notice where this account came from. And no shout out to Skip and Shannon Sharp. That's not good enough. You started trying to explain all over the place instead of just manning up and paying homage to Shannon and Skip. You could make it a joke or whatever you want, however you want to, play the situation. That little shout out, that little thank you. Come on, man. Hey, but this is me. I'm just talking shit. You handle it however you want, If it was me, I would be thanking Shannon Sharp for building a new channel and not asking for their old channel back so I can be successful. Let's start there. We need to hear you, Emmanuel Acho. Thank Unc publicly and tell him how much you appreciate what he has done for you and your friends that you can pay. Because Shannon Sharp didn't ask for the channel back. He went and built another channel. Now, once you pay your homage, or you pay homage to Unc and Skip and whoever else you need to pay homage to, then you can pop your shit. Acho, we're happy with your success, brother. We're happy. Don't think nobody isn't happy that you're making money. I hope you're making the most money you ever made in your life. Like I say, don't mind me. I just like to talk shit. I enjoy doing this. And if you can't handle the heat, you got to get out the kitchen, brother. But yeah, man, Emmanuel Acho, I guess he's a cool brother. I haven't had too many interactions with him. I see a lot of different opinions online that people have about him and things like that. I can just judge him from what I've seen him on Speakeasy, on social media, and things like that. And yeah, he's a little different type of guy. You know, where is he from? Like, what state did he live in? Is he from Texas? I know he's from Nigeria. Did he grow up and play high school football in Texas? Does anybody know where Emmanuel Acho is from? Right? What type of background does he have? Is he a private school kid? Did he grow up in the neighborhoods? Did he have it rough? Y'all let me know, man. I don't know too much about Emmanuel Acho. I first became familiar with him when he was working with, first started working with LaShawn McCoy. Shady, my boy Shady. So that's pretty much all I know about Emmanuel Acho. But he's a cool guy, man. And yeah, I can see he loves the fame. He wants to be famous. He wants to be respected as one of the top guys in this niche and things like that. But hey, we'll see, brother. We'll see. You know? And Shedeur Sanders, we got Shedeur Sanders, man. We got training camp, man. Training camp has started for some teams. And Shedeur Sanders is in a battle for his life, baby. And this is one of those battles I'm looking forward to out of any position in the NFL. I'm looking forward to the quarterback battle in Cleveland between Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders, like we all are. You know, most of us want Shedeur Sanders to win the battle. Some of us want to see Deshaun Watson get back to playing, you know, how he was playing in Texas. And, you know, that would be a beautiful thing. I don't think too many people could complain about that if Deshaun Watson was able to get back to stardom like he was in Houston. But that's far, 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 far left. You know, that's far left. You know, and I think it's time for some new energy, some new juice, new talent to take over and see what they can do and how much they can deliver for the new team. Because you know, creating that energy in the atmosphere, that bringing in new energy has a lot to do with it. You keeping old guys around, expecting new results, and it doesn't happen. That starts to wear down. And there's more hope for Shedeur Sanders. Todd Monken said he won't be making any decision at quarterback until he sees his players in full pass and live action. So that's basically after the first, second preseason game. The top players don't play in the first preseason game. You know, usually the second preseason game. So I think this is a good sign for Shedeur, which we already understood. He was impressing during mini camp, right? And you know, the one area, right? The one area I want to see Shedeur improve is him playing with more urgency. He's a little too comfortable playing at one speed and not playing with more urgency like right now. You know what I mean? And of course, let me break down urgency for everybody, right? Urgency, you know, of course, everybody understands he needs to make faster decisions, right? Faster decision making. That's one of the points in the urgency category, right? I want to see Shedeur play faster overall. I want to see him drop back in the pocket faster. I want to see him getting the ball to the running back with a lot more urgency. You know what I mean? I want to see him execute screens, right? Screen plays with much more tempo. You know, that's what I mean with more urgency. Everything has to pick up speed. Overall, just him playing in position. From the time he gets the ball from the quarterback. That's what I mean by urgency. And this is how I can see Shedeur separating himself from Deshaun Watson. Because once Shedeur corrects those categories or those blemishes that's going against him, man, he's going to become a much better quarterback, right? Now, at the very least, hopefully Shedeur can play well enough during the preseason, right? And or during the regular season and boost his value as a player. You know, that's what it's about. Continue to grow and uplift your value. right? As a player. That's the most important thing. But on the other hand, got issues, man. We got issues with his teammate. And Jerry Jeudy is getting in the way of Shedeur Sanders being great, man. Let's check him out.
All right, I see the marriage. Well, we are. All right,
So if you can see, right, he threw up the 4, right? And in the chat, they was asking, who do you want to be the starter at quarterback in the chat? And as he threw up the number 4, that question was posted in the chat during the live stream, right? So everyone is assuming that he's talking about Deshaun Watson is his choice for the starting quarterback. What a coincidence. Or not a coincidence. Jerry Jeudy was number 4 for the University of Alabama when he was in college. But understand, man. I don't know how you hide from this one. He's on damage control currently right now, trying to explain that that's not what he meant. You know, from what I see, he definitely wants Deshaun Watson to be the quarterback. But it's all starting to make sense. You know? And the sabotaging that's been going on, from dropping the passes, you know, acting like Shedeur is doing what he's supposed to do. You know, it's crazy, man. And the amount of support, right? That's what we have to understand. Jerry Jeudy is dealing with the amount of support and people that want to see Shedeur succeed. That puts the pressure on people like Jerry Jeudy and the wide receiver position. Some people can't handle pressure like others. Pressure really busts pipes. That's a true statement. You know? I don't understand this perspective of the 2 quarterbacks. I don't understand Jerry Jeudy's perspective. Why would he want Deshaun Watson over Shedeur Sanders? As if he's had success with Deshaun Watson. He's a much better receiver when Shedeur Sanders is at quarterback. So make it make sense. It's not making any sense. And that's what's blowing me, you know? It's crazy. Check this out. We're going to see the stats. We're going to compare the stats from when Jerry Jeudy had Shedeur Sanders at quarterback and for the short period of time when Deshaun Watson was at quarterback for Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy with Deshaun Watson at quarterback, 50% catch rate, right? 50%. 12.7 yards per reception. 6.3 yards per target. So that's 50%, 12.7 yards per reception, 6.3 yards per target with Deshaun Watson. Jerry Jeudy with Shedeur Sanders, 1 season. He only had 1 season. Jerry Jeudy only had 1 season with both quarterbacks, right? 57% catch rate. It's up 7%. 12.9 per reception. 0.2 better than when he was with Deshaun Watson. 7.5 yards per target. It's a little bit better when he has Shedeur Sanders. So I really don't understand. And I don't know what the beef is all about. And no one seems to understand the plan if Deshaun Watson becomes the starter moving forward, right? I would love to see Deshaun Watson back to like he was in Houston, right? That would be great. But the reality is, he just isn't the same anymore. Todd Monken, he can work his magic and revive Deshaun. You know, all things are possible, but like I say, the reality is he just isn't the same no more. And that's the way it is, right? So that's what we got tonight, man. And I'm gonna jump into this quarterback development as well, man. And because I think I was the first one to talk about this, right? And the quality of quarterbacks being drafted in the NFL, man, it continues to decline. It continues to decline, and it's not getting any better. These quarterbacks aren't learning fundamental football. And this is how bad quarterback development has been for past years. First round picks are being deemed backup quarterbacks. It's crazy. Scott McCluggin dubs Ty Simpson a career backup. Wow. Let's read this article. Former two-time NFL general manager Scott McCluggin recently directed sharp criticism at the 13th overall pick in the 2026 NFL draft. I think the quarterback from Alabama is overdrafted, McCluggin said on the Team 980 in D.C. of the New York Post. But it's the position alone, you know. I think not being a guru, but he's like J.J. McCarthy. He's like Matt Jones. He's a career backup. First round pick, number 13th overall, being deemed a career backup. And that's, hey man, we're going to see more and more of this moving forward. Joe Flacco shouldn't be in the NFL no more as a quarterback. There should be plenty of quarterbacks who was drafted that can take his spot. There's so many quarterbacks that the NFL is hanging on to that shouldn't be around, right? Let's think about it. The amount of quarterbacks who had success after being first-round picks in the past 10 years is scary. It's scary. All right? How many quarterbacks have had success? You got Kyler Murray. He didn't pan out for the Cardinals. You got Zach Wilson out of BYU, drafted by the Jets. He looked like he belonged, put him back in high school, right? He had a lot of talent coming out of college. Looked like he could make every throw. Got Trey Lance, drafted to San Francisco 49ers, right? He looked promising. He didn't pan out. Mac Jones is trending towards a career backup. He was the 10th pick overall? Marcus Mariota, top 3 draft pick. And he was bad for Tennessee. Then he did some good things in Washington, right? Remember Paxton Lynch? Drafted to the Denver Broncos in 2016. That was a disaster, right? Josh Rosen. This is one guy that probably didn't get the chance that he deserved. And he was drafted to the Arizona Cardinals, traded to the Dolphins, right? Didn't really get to touch the field to show his potential and what he can do, right? So just another example of quarterbacks get drafted in the first round but aren't panning out. That is, I don't understand. What are you going to do if the NFL don't have any quality quarterback play? I don't know. And then you got the Bears. They drafted Mitch Trubisky, right? With the number 2 overall pick. That was probably the worst of them all. Justin Fields, a huge disappointment. And given nothing but unnecessary chances because of his quote-unquote potential. Aaron Glenn and the Jets foolishly gave him a brand new contract to be the starting quarterback. That's how bad quarterback development is getting. The NFL can't find quarterbacks to replace the quarterbacks who should no longer be around. Justin Fields is a perfect example of that. They just gave him a brand new contract, and he was by far not only the worst quarterback in the NFL, was the worst player. The worst player in the NFL. And then you got Anthony Richardson, supposed to be the next Cam Newton. Crazy potential, size, can run, athletic, throw with the best of them as far as arm strength. He's definitely not panning out. You never say never, but I'm just talking about from what I see, right? We're still waiting on Michael Penix. He's very injury prone, right? And he showed some cool signs of potentially being okay. But he might not even be the starter this season. If he doesn't end up being the starter this season over Tua Tagovailoa, we back to square one, you know? And it's just scary to see how long this will last because of this new wave of social media trainers that aren't teaching these kids the basic fundamentals of football, right? That's how you teach kids. You have to teach them the fundamentals first. For example, teaching a kid that's a quarterback to start in the shotgun series instead of teaching the kid how to properly drop back and pass. If you don't teach that kid that first, that's not a good thing. That's kind of like putting a defensive player on the field without teaching the kid how to properly tackle first. And y'all remember, I continue to tell y'all, quarterback development is dry, it's bad, and man, everybody's looking for the next Patrick Mahomes. You can do it all, so we don't have to teach you. We can sacrifice drafting linemen and keeping you protected because we depend on your talent and you to make plays, right? And that's basically where the NFL is headed. Until they get some new energy in the NFL and a new head coach, like what's homeboy at Seahawks. He's doing pretty good, right? Fundamental football, right? Until, you replace these new era coaches who loves the bells and whistles of the position quarterback instead of making sure that the fundamentals of football is correct. We're going to be dealing with this for a while, man. So, yeah, man, we'll see, man, if this gets any better, man. And yeah, it's time to get back rocking and rolling, man. Get more consistent. Sunday, Monday, Thursday, man. We got to get back consistent, man. Football season is here, and I'm excited. I was able to spend a lot of time with the kids and the fam, get some things in order. Got to get through these cases, man. Got a few cases going on, and I can't wait to tell y'all about these cases. And in the future, y'all will see Asante Samuel Jr. on. He's excited. I told him I can't bring you on yet. I got to bring you on when you do something like that. You got to go snap first. We're going to bring you on, and we're going to talk our shit. You know what I mean? So y'all going to see me and my son vibing together, man, and y'all going to see us having a good time, and y'all keep my son in prayers, as he take this season. It's a dangerous game, man. Don't ever think it's not a dangerous game. And yeah, man. Shout out to the chat, man. Let me see what y'all talking about, man. Huh. Let me see. Yeah. Do what you gotta do, shouting. Nobody worry about you. You can't handle a shit talker? You sensitive too. Let me show you this sensitive mother sucker right here. Wow, let me unsubscribe because this is really pathetic. Your feelings got hurt and you're not trying to make something. Ain't Ryan not the only one said you wasn't all that? Trick, shut up. You don't know what I talk shit about everybody. You just upset because you sensitive like Ryan Carr. Don't run now. Hear this. Let me hear you. Hear me go off on you. You sensitive too, baby girl? Huh? That's the problem. Because I talk shit about everybody. But since it's Ryan Clark, you in your feelings, huh? See? You see how y'all tell on y'allself? Because I'm not a sensitive guy. So don't bring that sensitivity around me, right? I stand in the pain. I got to deal with it. We all got to deal with it. And when I want to be sensitive, I'm sensitive at home. Don't be mad because your guy, Ryan Clark, decided to be a crybaby in front of the world. That's not real nigga shit. That's chump shit. He showed them people his true colors, and they laugh and having coffee talking about him right now. Yeah, you soft ass. Yeah, call Ryan Clark. You little soft little chick. We're going to get 30, 40, 50 more subscribers for that one stupid subscriber who is in her feelings because a man got fired. I hope he feel that way for you if you ever get fired. You know, people get fired every day. Cam Newton wasn't crying. But since you want to feel sorry for Ryan Clark, I'm going to talk shit and blah, blah, blah. Man, get the fuck out of here. People, man, this is why I'm Asante Samuel, and this is Say What Needs to Be Said. Because we don't deal with all that soft shit over here. You know what I mean? It's Sunday night vibes, man. Like I said, we're going to get back consistent. She threw me off, man. Let me get back to reading my comments, you know? Talking about, shout out to Edward, man. Edward got good one in the building. Talking about Jeudy hating on Shedeur. Man, yeah, man, this seems weird, man. Why wouldn't you want Shedeur Sanders to be your quarterback? He's young like you know, y'all vibe together, probably more than the older Deshaun Watson. At the end of the day, like I said, all it seems like it boils down to is that pressure. The pressure of having to deliver when Shedeur Sanders is on the team. The pressure of Shedeur Sanders being on the team, and the attention is consistently on us, you know? And that's a lot to deal with. When I played for New England, right? It's like every other week we turned up on the TV, right? We turned up on primetime football. We was playing on national television. And sometimes I wanted just to play in the background and at 1:00 where it's not a national televised game in front of the whole world, where I can just do my thing and not have everybody watching me every play, because we was on TV in front of a national audience so much. That's how much the pressure gets to us. That this is a real thing. It's not a joke. And how we deal with it and respond is makes or break our career. And we understand when it's a night game and it's primetime football, you got to put your best foot forward. Everybody's calling you after the game. Any mess ups you have, that's the first thing you're gonna hear. And for a guy like Jeudy, if Shedeur Sanders is out there balling and he isn't stepping up to the plate in his primetime football, he know the wrath is coming down on him hard. So why not say I'd rather deal with Deshaun Watson, where I don't have to deal with the pressure and, you know, and live my life in peace. That's how I see it. But, you know, we're going to continue to follow this. I think their first preseason game is like August 15th, you know, and I think they reported to camp already, or they're coming up soon, but we'll see, man. Sunday night vibes, man. I appreciate y'all rocking out with me, man. Y'all continue to rock out with me. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, comment, tell a friend to tell a friend. Make sure they subscribe, because, man, we gotta get back going. Sunday, Monday, we're gonna jump on here tomorrow, man, and see what we could come up with. I'm gonna talk about Marvin Harrison, man, Jr. What does he got going out there in Arizona? And also Keon Coleman. But I ain't gonna hold y'all too much longer, man. It was fun. So y'all know I get to going. I don't want to let y'all go. I just want to keep rocking out with y'all. But it's Sunday night vibes, man. It's your boy Asante, Mr. Pick 6 Salmon. I'm gonna see y'all next time. I am